Lester, it's good to have you.
Good to be here.
20 years since we saw those terrifying images of Katrina. You got the call from NBC News to head down to Louisiana to cover this hurricane. You were actually in Baton Rouge when the hurricane actually hit.
Yeah.
Tell me about what you were expecting.
Well, I was on vacation
Wow.
on the West Coast. I wasn't really focused on it because I was having a good time being off. Got back to New York. I think it was Sunday morning. I woke up and the phone's ringing. We have a charter plane standing by with the crews and folks, and you need to get out, head to Katrina. And I remember saying, "What's Katrina?" And they described this big hurricane. So got to the airport, so we went right into Baton Rouge, where the team was all kind of looking at our BlackBerries back then, if you remember what that is.
Yes. I had one of those.
And we were all being assigned different places to go to fan out. I was to stay in Baton Rouge. And what struck us all as we looked at our BlackBerries, there was a statement from the National Weather Service. And it basically was laying out in the most graphic terms, horrific terms of what this hurricane would likely bring in terms of death and destruction. It all really caught us all by surprise. The storm came through. It was not, it wasn't horrific. We were able to stand through it. But for that period of time, at least, we thought that was Katrina, that we had seen the worst face of Katrina. And then, of course, we began hearing reports from New Orleans.
That really became the story. So as you made your way, Lester, towards New Orleans, what did you see?
When we got into the heart of New Orleans, in the Garden District, we could see a lot of the flooding hadn't receded. And I think one of the first things that caught my eye is we were outside a vehicle shooting, and I looked down on the sidewalk, and there was some spray paint message. And it took me a second to realize what I was seeing, and it was giving the count of casualties in that particular building. But I remember that was a real eye-opener.
Are there any conversations that you can recount for us that can describe kind of the state of mind for some of the individuals that had survived Katrina?
I remember one of the assignments I had when I was there was following a family as they made their way out. They were going to Houston.
For the second time in just over a week, Paula Harden and her family are packing up and leaving the place they call home.
I don't want to leave, y'all.
We got to Houston, and there were obviously shelters in place there that people were being relocated. But you always had the sense that this was not planned for in the way that we might have hoped. Mm-hmm. It was really hard to get a sense of what the need was and how to respond to that need.
A lot of folks suffered at the time for a long, extended period of time, and we saw much of that suffering at recovery centers.
Because I remember being part of a conversation with another correspondent. We were talking about something as simple as how do you describe folks who have gone through this? Are they refugees? Because we think of refugees as A, in different countries, and B, people who have perhaps been in a war zone. That sense of abandonment of Americans in an American city was a big part of this story. There was certainly a racial component to it. Would this have happened in another neighborhood, in another place, at another time? We'll never know the answer to that.
If you take your reporter hat off for a moment, Lester, and your anchor hat off for a moment, as a person, as Lester Holt, covering Katrina, what was it like for you?
It felt shameful to me. Nature's nature, and nature's going to do what it's going to do. But it felt like, to watch people on their rooftops, cutting holes in the roof to get out and being hoisted on helicopters. It just felt like another place. You can argue that I'm being a little arrogant and a little, that we're different because we're Americans. But the fact of the matter is, I think you just tend to expect better. And, to watch people walking along the highways with no particular destination other than to get out, to get to a place where there is food, it was pretty horrifying.
You've covered a lot of storms since then.
Yeah.
As anchor of Nightly News for 10 years. Does Katrina stand out to you?
Katrina does stand out to me. Just from that, that moment I described, when we're all looking at our BlackBerries and getting a vivid description of what we were walking into. I'm a little less bold in hurricanes. Part of that's just a product of getting older.
Yeah.
You're like, do I really need to stand out here this close to the beach to make the point? It's a reminder that what we do is dangerous, but I think we had an important role to play. I thought it was in some ways a a really good moment for journalism. The effect of our, storytelling, our ability to get into places.
Right.
It's one I won't forget.
If there's an image that you can describe for us that sticks out in your mind when you think of Katrina, what is it?
I think it would have to be those images of people, on their roofs waiting for rescue. I think those were just there's scenes you just can't forget of people in, true desperation.
Lester Holt, thank you.
Good to be with you.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.